YouTube channel Nos Confunden. Chapter 15. The 8 Cycles of Humanity and their respective resets. First humanity of Hyperborea, Asgard. This first humanity was the beginning of everything. It was created according to the great ancestral books by 5 masters whose origin is unknown, and developed in the area of Asgard to the north, beyond the first known barrier of ice or first dome. They had a direct connection with Hyperborea, the center of the known lands, by means of a portal that transported matter. Nos Confunden. Their technological advance was of great level, and especially their spiritual development. Here was the first clash with the colonizers called custodians, who then carried out what would be the first reset, or radical change, in the path of humanity that they would never leave. This undoubtedly marked the end of the free era, and the beginning of the extraterrestrial parasitic influence. Nos Confunden. First generation. After the reset of the first humanity of Hyperborea Asgard, the custodians, with the help of the Anunnaki, established a new civilization under their direct control. This new era then marked the beginning of the first human generation under their orders and modifications of the environment, designed and supervised to avoid any error that would leave them out of their control. Nos Confunden. They implemented advances in their system of surveillance and strict control to ensure that humanity could not again reach such a development and jeopardize their plan. The supervision then of human knowledge regarding technology and its infinite spiritual growth was totally limited. The development of technologies useful for basic infrastructure and social welfare was likewise permitted, but advances that might lead to the discovery of the true limits of the invisible dome projector were suppressed. The custodians also fostered belief systems and religions, promoted mythologies to confuse the past and the true purpose of human creation, as well as pushed away any theories related to the 5 masters. Doctrines that discouraged exploration and questioning of your reality under the dome and the limits of the known universe were also carried forward. Nos Confunden. Great monuments and structures such as temples and palaces were erected, serving both to showcase the power of the custodians and to distract the population from scientific and spiritual exploration. These great monuments and structures always forced the human being to venerate the great custodians who began to play the role of pretending to be gods. YouTube channel Nos Confunden. There were factors that led to the second reset, and this happened for several reasons. One of them was the rediscovery of ancient knowledge. As time went on, this first generation human began to recover fragments of the lost knowledge of the first humanity of Hyperborea. These fragments included technological and spiritual advances that challenged the narrative of the colonizing parasites. The rise of critical thinking also had a significant influence. Some individuals and groups began to question official teachings and investigate beyond the allowed limits. This critical thinking spread and threatened to destabilize their control. Exploration and external contact was determinant. There were attempts at exploration that led to disturbing discoveries, especially of vestiges in the Hyperborea area. Some of the expeditions also got too close to the dividing barrier's membranes and began to understand the true nature of their world. Nos Confunden. All this gave way to the phase of resistance and rebellion. Resistance movements began to form against custodial control, and these groups, though small, began to spread dangerous ideas that put the total control of their great colony at stake. The custodians then set in motion their second reset, as they saw the resurgence of dangerous knowledge and the rise of critical thinking. Decided then that the first generation had reached a point of no return, and to preserve their dominance they carried out their plan. The reset was carried out through controlled catastrophes, which destroyed much of the infrastructure and accumulated knowledge. Methods such as floods, earthquakes, and volcanic eruptions were used to annihilate any trace of the previous civilization. Nos confunden. Then came the repopulation phase, initiating a process based on laboratory studies and advanced methods to introduce a new generation of humans with memories and knowledge adjusted to avoid repeating the previous mistakes. This generated in the following humanity a loss or suppression of absolute knowledge, leaving them in a state of total ignorance about true human capabilities and about their history. Control was reinforced as they learned from past mistakes and established even tighter control mechanisms, coupled with reinforced narratives, so that new cultural and religious narratives were designed to be more effective in discouraging exploration and critical thinking, ensuring that the next generation remained under the desired control for much longer.